You must draft at least 2 of these 5 players to win in fantasy football this year. These 5 guys are absolute cornerstones of what a winning roster looks like. Last year, this list included guys like George Kittle, the tight end 1, Brian Thomas Jr. and Ladd McConkey, 2 amazing rookie breakouts, and solid guys like James Conner. First up is the man who would have led the league in receiving yards if he did not get hurt, Nico Collins. You may look at the stats at the end of the year and see he only averaged 17 points per game. That's very good, but you would have thought it would have been more, right? Well, it actually was. There was 3 games in that average where he only played less than 50% of the snaps. Some of them were 14% of the snaps. And in one of those games, he actually caught a 75-yard touchdown immediately and then pulled his hamstring, so it looked like a fine game. But if you remove those games that he didn't fully play, he would have averaged about 20 points per game. If he did finish those games, it would have been closer to about 22 points per game. That would have been the wide receiver 2, only behind Jamar Chase. This year, he has no more Stephon Diggs, no Tank Dell, a new coaching staff, which hopefully makes this offense better because last year they were terrible. And even with CJ Stroud looking like a shell of himself last year, when he and Nico were on the field at the same time, it was good. And the cherry on top, he gets good matchups every week in this easy division. The second guy you absolutely must draft is going at the latter half of the second round. That's Jonathan Taylor. Last year, he had a very quiet 17.6 points per game, and that was with Anthony Richardson stealing a lot of the goal line work and never checking the ball down to him. And with AR having that shoulder injury, Daniel Jones is going to start most of the games this year. He's a quarterback that is more likely to check the ball down to JT. Not saying JT's going to play all these third downs all of a sudden. He probably won't. But on first and second down, he's going to get a lot more of that work. But the biggest thing is at the goal line, what are they going to do? Trust Danny Dimes to throw a slant or a nice fade or something like that? Or just give the ball to Jonathan Taylor? Guys like Ashton Genty and Derrick Henry are getting drafted between picks 8 to 14. And honestly, what's really the difference between them and Jonathan Taylor? And the guys he's going around like T. Higgins or Bucky Irving or Chase Brown, I think it's a very easy decision in favor of JT. The third guy on this list makes a reappearance from last year. It's George Kittle, the tight end 1, going at the price of tight end 3 around pick 50. Why, oh why, is there a 20 to 30 spot gap between Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, and George Kittle? In full PPR, those guys are definitely going to get more targets, but in half PPR and standard, George Kittle will score more touchdowns. On top of that, Deebo Samuel is gone to the Commanders, and Brandon Ayuk is still injured, most likely going to be placed on the PUP, missing at least 4 to 6 weeks. If this happens to be the season where each game George Kittle gets 8 to 10 targets per game, he's going to take that leap to averaging 18, 19 points per game. Whereas guys like Trey McBride and Brock Bowers are already averaging close to 10 targets a game. If you look at their game logs at the end of last year, they were getting absolutely force-fed, and they still didn't beat George Kittle. I don't blame you for liking those other tight ends, but there shouldn't be this big of a gap. The fourth player, maybe the craziest on this list, it's Travis Hunter. I know what you're thinking. Maybe he plays a lot of reps at DB, and he's more likely to get hurt. That's a fair argument. But the Jaguars made it very obvious for us they want him playing receiver, as the only people around him are Parker Washington and Diami Brown. I'm sorry, but if the playoffs are on the line, those guys are not taking reps over Travis Hunter. Not to mention Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis, Evan Ingram, they're all gone. They made clear space for Hunter. Now, in terms of his actual talent, he was the 2nd overall pick. How many receivers were the 2nd overall pick? It's a very short list. He may walk into the NFL with the best catch radius and hands we've seen in a while. On top of that, he's one of the biggest freaks of nature in terms of athleticism we have ever seen. Go check out this dude's clips from his 7-on-7s. They're insane. Then the best part is he's attached to a good quarterback in Trevor Lawrence, but the better part is that Liam Cohen is really going to unlock this offense. We saw how insane Baker Mayfield and the Bucs were last year. They were the top 5 offense when they were fully healthy. Brian Thomas Jr. and Travis Hunter, with a quarterback like that, should absolutely shred. And speaking of quarterbacks, I had to include one of them on this list. Give me a guy that didn't break out in year 1. He was kind of okay, but has tons of rushing upside. His offensive line got better. His receiving room got better. Drake May. In fantasy, you want to find the quarterbacks that reach the upper echelon of top 5 upside, if not top 3. Pocket passers like Jared Goff and Brock Purdy will have their occasional good games, but they are never going to be a top 3 quarterback unless they have some absurdly unreal 5,000-yard, 50-touchdown season. Drake May, on the other hand, is an absolute cannon of an arm, but the best part is he's going to average 50 rushing yards per game, maybe about a quarter of a touchdown per game. I know you all know this is the cheat code to fantasy. Justin Fields was super relevant because of his rushing upside. Kyler Murray was a quarterback too one year. And Drake May is that guy. If you like this video, drop a like, drop a comment of the videos you want to see next, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.